All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back. What are we up to today? Jennifer.
Hmm. We are talking about,
So today we're talking, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
hey, we are talking about social media and if your social media is working effectively for you and if you feel frustrated and it's not, we're going to ask yourself to, we're going to ask yourself to ask yourself, me and my words,
There we go.
why? And go from there.
We're off to a good
We're
start.
off to a great start. I'm going to be wordy today.
Oh boy.
Ay, ay, ay.
So the other day I don't know where I was, maybe on YouTube or somewhere, just listening to people talk, and they pointed out the Red Bull page on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Bull has, I think
Wings.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Dang.
I don't think they have wings. Are they like Wingstop?
I was trying to like
I don't even
cut
know
down
what a
my
Wingstop
words.
is. All right. So Red Bull on Instagram has 18.8 million followers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go.
But here's what's impressive about that. They sell energy drinks, right?
As I'm aware, yeah.
There's not a single post about energy drinks on their page.
Yeah, this blew my mind actually when you told me this. I was like, wait, it's got to be somewhere like someone doing something with their energy drinks. And you're like, no,
So their logo and their branding is everywhere, but they're not trying to sell you
I
products.
love this.
So I just started thinking, like, why are we as an industry, or not everyone does this, of course, but why are we posting about products? Is that what is really serving our clients? And so I just started asking these questions, and I don't think posting about products is really helping your clients. I think that people believe
Correct.
that my clients need this smoothing treatment, or they need this, or they need that. You can tell that story without pushing products.
Hmm.
Okay. So, and don't hate me, product companies, because we need your products. We're just going to tell our clients about them when they engage us.
Right. And in a more like fantastic way.
Okay.
That's a good word.
Fantastic.
You
There
like
we
that?
go.
I think so, depending on where you are in your hair journey, because if you come from a land of 25 years like myself, I was brought up with basically products drive your client retention. So if you're
That,
living in that
so yeah, maybe,
that's
but that doesn't need to be the focus of your social media.
totally agree. But I think
You
there
know
are
what I'm
people
saying?
that might think, oh, I'm going to drive my business. These clients are going to be attracted to me because I've been told if I sell so many products per client, they're going to stay my client forever, which that's just an old way of thinking. And I don't know if anyone even thinks like that when they're putting product. I think they're just putting up products to sell
I
products.
think the owners of the business are definitely thinking that,
Mhm.
sell, sell, sell. But when you look at it specific to like Instagram, for example, people don't want to be sold to.
Agreed.
People are on Instagram for
I was
inspiration,
going to say a feeling.
education,
Yep.
or entertainment,
Absolutely.
or some combination of those things.
Hmm.
Like, I never scroll through Instagram and find myself being like, what should I buy Jen for Christmas? Like, that's not where I
Right.
go.
But yet, if somebody put something fun or something that reminded you of me, you might stop on it or like it might put a thought in your head.
I for sure would.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's putting out a feeling, the inspiration, the fun part. Not like buy this shampoo. It's good for you.
So I think it's important to look at, like, we talk about big companies a lot, and like, you used to get irritated with me. You would be like, we're not like this big company. So what are you
When
trying
you
to
were talking
pull?
about in comparisons, I'd be like, we're not this. But
Oh, well, of course,
the
but everything.
comparison comes to the bigger picture and then you scale down from there too.
I'm not sure I follow what you're saying there.
All right, you go.
I just think if you look at these big companies, so like you, for example, you were like, well, they had, I pulled up Nike's Instagram, and I was like, they don't do a ton of products as well. Like, so you said they are this massive company with, teams and marketing
Right.
divisions and all this stuff. And I said, right. But when you open a business, you are signing up to be that stuff,
Hmm.
and then you scale. So that opened up even a different conversation about social media and followings, because a lot of people, well, let me finish my first point. So my first point is just that when you look at your Instagram page or social media in general, who is it for and what are they looking for?
Mm-hmm.
The majority of people don't want to be sold to. You are going to have your clients that don't care. You are going to have your clients that come in and they're like, do whatever. You are going to have your clients that are like, what shampoo? Just put it in my bag. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of people, when you are building your brand, when you are trying to attract your tribe, you're trying to put together a following of loyal potential clients, the majority of people are going to resonate with some sort of emotion,
Mm-hmm.
feeling, whatever, however you want to say it. And I think that's what you were kind of getting at.
Yes, and I was just saying when you used to compare us like or compare ideas to these big brands, I'd be like, we're not that. But the point of that was what you were just saying is scaling it down, like looking what they're doing or resonating with that, and you scale it to what works for you. You had even said earlier when we were talking, like Nike has however many followers, like your regular hair salon or stylist doesn't even need to have that many because you can't service that many clients either way.
I
So,
just want to point out for the audience that Jen just stole my point that I was about to make.
oh,
And you knew you were doing that too.
well, we talked about it earlier, so it's
So
like
you
in
were
my
like,
head.
I'll steal that. I don't want to put any thought into this
Isn't that
podcast.
supposed to
I
be
just want to show up and
a way to, isn't like beg, borrow, steal? I don't know, steal something. There's a quote there that I don't.
good artists borrow, great
Yeah.
artists steal.
So I'm a great artist. I just stole.
So Nike has
Ding,
306
ding.
million followers.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, of course. Well, no, not of course. They had to build that still.
Right.
Of,
And they're a
of,
global company.
of course, when Instagram came out, of course, Nike was already known. But that doesn't mean that your brand can't start on Instagram and then move to whatever's next. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know what's after Instagram, but something is coming. The sound on this
And
mic is annoying me.
your
Go ahead. Take my point. You might as well make it at this point.
and being known doesn't have to be at the same level as Nike, right? You don't need to have like the 3 million followers or whatever you just said for a number.
I think it was 108,
100.
103, something
Oh,
like that.
geez, I went to-
Either way, yeah, we'll put it into perspective because people are always trying to get followers. And what do those followers do for you? First of all, your followers that are like your friends from hair school, they already know you do hair. So they're either going to come to you or they're not. Your family members that follow you, they already know that you do hair. They're either going to come to you or not. Other hairstylists, unless you're trying to educate or something like that. And I mean, seriously, educate, not just say like, I'm an educator, right? I'm not saying just post that on your Instagram and then
so often
think it does something for
right.
you. It
It
does nothing for you. And I'm not being negative.
It's
like,
just real.
when you start to look at a following, how many people do you really need? Like, for example, if 110 million people or whatever it was walked through your front door, what would you do?
Collapse.
Literally, the building would collapse. You're
Yeah.
right. That's a ridiculous example. But how many clients do you think the average hair pro really needs?
Yeah, I think we said like maybe 200. Maybe.
There's a number. Is it I think it starts with an M. There's a guy that figured out Marlov. Either way, human beings on average, so typical. And if you're listening, you are on that typical. We all love to think we're at the highest ends or lowest ends, but odds are you're smack in the middle. You can have an actual relationship with around 150 people.
Okay.
So you have the ability in your brain to process, to remember the name, to remember their face, to remember some facts about them or whatever.
Gotcha.
150. That's about where you're at. You can expand that because you have, so say you're a stylist and you work alongside a great friend and you guys recommend clients back and forth. That number gets larger.
Mm-hmm.
But how many do you actually need? I'm not sure. I haven't done the math to figure out, what people need at different points in their career because it all varies of your lifestyle. Some people need a lot less clients than they have currently.
Right. Some need a lot more.
Yeah. So when you look at a following, if you're looking at a following and you're like, oh, I have 500 followers or 1,000 followers, that's not enough. You have the wrong followers because that's plenty.
Right. If that's not driving into your business, then exactly, those are the wrong people.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to be like, I need what you see for like Instagram famous. Like you don't need that. You need the right people to be following you and engaging in what you're putting out for your content.
Agreed. What else are we talking about today?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
I don't want to steal any more thoughts.
You're such a
I'm
punk.
funny.
All right. So where do you go with this information? So you're like, all right, Jen and Todd, I see you. I get it. That makes sense. Now what? I think one of the things that we have to realize, and we've been harping on this lately, is that it is not about you. Nobody cares. I would love to think that everyone in the world woke up this morning and was like, I wonder what Todd's up to. I wonder how Todd slept.
Honestly, the sooner you change your mindset in this and not just focus on like me, the the quicker you will start to gain these real clients and followers and people that want to be around you.
The quicker you will take my point as I'm about to say it.
Okay.
So I think the audience is, I'm used to it by now, but I think the audience is used to this too.
I hope so.
Because you'll be, so we'll do these like pre show, like sort of, we go over the notes
Chats.
and whatever. Yeah. And we're like, hey, we're on the same page. And Jen, 99% of the time is like, oh, I don't know. We'll talk about whatever, whatever you say. So then I'll run through like some ideas. And then before I can say them, here she is, like all of a sudden, like she had these ideas.
I am that great artist.
You're a thief. No, I saw this great post the other day, and it was a barber, Peter Gosling is his name,
Love him.
who I don't know him.
I don't know him, but I love following him.
I've never met him, but a buddy of mine, Steve, who's a barber, has worked with him and done some stuff with him in the past. So either way, he posted that we need to ask more about our clients and talk less about ourselves.
Mhm.
I have been saying that for a lot longer than I've been in the hair industry.
This is a customer service based industry, like it or not.
Yes. So your clients, yes, want to know what you're up to. Your clients, yes, want to know that you are doing whatever you're doing.
Of course they do.
Because they're
sprinkled in.
Yes, sprinkled in. They do not care about like your trauma. It's sort of a buzzword these days, but they don't want you to like dump on them.
Mm-hmm.
They need.
And as much as you can say right now, well, Sally really does care. She may at that moment, but at the same point, eventually Sally may leave you because it's so much about you that she feels like she's on the back burner. And because it's a customer service business, if you're losing clients, that's probably why.
Yeah, that was my next point. No, I'm just kidding. It's really just figuring. Did you have something?
No, go ahead.
It's really just figuring out who you want your audience to be. Who do you want to sit in your chair?
Yeah.
And then figure out who that person is. And I'll put it in the show notes, but I've written a bunch of blog posts about this. Once you figure out who that person is and you figure out what problem you can solve for them, because that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how to talk to them. What are they looking for? Are they looking for entertainment? Are they looking for inspiration?
And this makes it so easy to make your posts because you know who you're posting to.
This might not even be about hair, which is wrapping around to what I was saying in the beginning. Everyone wants to post the back of the head with like a brown heart, and they're like, that'll get me clients. No, it won't.
And we talked about this earlier. That puts you in a sea of everybody else. So all of your posts look like everyone else. But this is where, when we were talking, I said, you need to decide, what do you want your social media to do for you? If it's just for fun and to show your work, go for it. But if you think that by doing it just for fun and showing your work will equate to you getting clients, absolutely not. You have to put the work in. You have to switch your mindset, and then you have to find that target audience and who are you speaking to. Those are two completely different things.
Yeah. So the other day I had somebody say to me, because we did a thing at our salon, like a photo contest, and people were like, I had one person that was like, I don't want to take away from the hair. And I was like, it's not about the hair.
The hair gives you no feelings.
So no, I don't care about the hair that you did. To be honest with you, like I do not care. It's beautiful hair, but if you open Instagram, it's all beautiful hair. Nobody's posting their bad hair they did.
Right. And then you're in a sea of all beautiful hair, which means your hair does not stand out next to anything else.
Now think about this. What if you have your clients that, so say this happens to you. Let's do this example. Your clients are always maybe not every client, but a handful of clients are telling you all the time, like, oh my God, I love your outfits. And you go, oh, I love you. Why? Because they made you feel good. There's an emotion there. So guess what would attract more of those people?
Show your outfits.
showing off your outfit.
Yeah.
So maybe you figure out a way. Maybe it's through stories. Maybe it's through reels. I have no idea. Maybe you do a carousel Monday through Friday or whatever you work, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And you have those that you collect for the week and you put a carousel together. Here are my fits for this week. Or maybe you have some fun. And like, I know, Jen, you plan out your outfits sometimes, especially when you're traveling and stuff. So maybe you lay those out and you do a little photo shoot and you're like, here's what I'm wearing next week. Come in. Which one do you wish you could see me wearing? I don't know, something silly and fun and engaging.
But you just nailed it. It's engaging. It's fun. It will attract people that are into that. Like, and it's different.
No, I know I nailed it because our social media works and we do not have a big following.
Right.
But
the following we do have are our clients come in and we see them regularly.
We do have a lot of other hair pros and stuff too, because we are in a lot of salons and that thing, and we do the podcast and whatever. So our audience is that. So your audience can be multiple parts as well. It doesn't have to be one. So if you're somebody that's like, well, I want to specialize in blonding, that doesn't have to be all you post.
Right.
It might be. You're welcome to just post that, but you could have two different audiences. Maybe you also like doing short haircuts. I don't know, whatever. So you would have, those might be two different people that you're speaking to.
Right.
So now it's even expanded what you can post even further, because you're solving problems for two different audiences.
Correct.
Who just happen to converge on your page, which is great.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about in regard to posting? I feel like we're jumping all around, but
hey, for those ADD people listening, they're gonna love it. That's me.
I know. Because I just asked you a question and you're deferring instead of answering it. That's how I know it's you.
Oh, great.
It all breaks down to, I'll just go so Jen can drink her coffee. I think it all breaks down to having some sort of game plan. Like I guess it's so annoying to keep saying the same thing over, but it's that important. When you figure out who you're fucking talking to, it makes your life so much easier.
I think there's a great point there. Go ahead, you can finish your thought and
I was just going to say, go back to those three sort of pillars, the education, inspiration, and entertainment, and decide what you want to do. If you feel like you want to just force, I wouldn't do this, but force facts down people's throats. All right. You like education. You like to educate people. Now figure out how you can do that in like a fun, entertaining way. And it doesn't need to always be, you can follow the trends and you can do whatever. There's one right now where people are like shaking around with lights. I don't understand what's happened. You haven't? No. Have you been on social media in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah. Not a lot, maybe.
You haven't seen this trend?
No.
Yeah, it's I don't, yeah.
Now that you said it out loud, it'll be next on my phone when I open it.
Probably. So you can do that stuff and just sort of follow along. But at a certain point, you're not adding like your twist. You're just sort of replicating what everyone on the internet is doing. And you'll end up back at that posting a picture of the back of the head and with a brown heart and being like, that'll get me clients.
And it will not. It's just lost.
It's confusing because so I might understand that you posted a brunette and a brown heart because I'm in the hair industry. And I'm not saying people outside of the hair industry wouldn't put that together, but you're asking someone to process that in like 2 seconds as they scroll through your page. They don't get what's in it for them. And posting like a brown heart or whatever, like just an emoji, or even I see a lot of people that just post like a weird sort of 3/4 angle of a haircut and no caption at all.
Major effort there.
And I'm like, what is happening here? But what were you going to say?
All right. So I think the word game plan is huge. If you're trying to use your social media to attract clients, you have to have a game plan and realize this is going to require work. And if you're like, I don't want to do work, then I wouldn't plan on your social media giving you any return. Because if you don't put in the effort, there will be no return. So the game plan's huge, which is like, who are you talking to? What problems are you trying to solve? The next thing I would do is when you go into other businesses and you walk in, what attracts you to that business? Why did you go there? When you walked in, how did you feel? What made you feel what? Right? So you can use your own experiences. So when you start doing your social media, you can focus in on the things that you feel when you go into other businesses. So for me, I would want to know who's doing my hair. What do they look like? Maybe their outfit, maybe their hair. Like, do they put themselves together? Do they put in a little effort? Because if you put in none, you're not for me. And then on top of that, like, what does your space look like when I come in? I don't want my anxiety to run high if I don't know where to go when I get in this building. So maybe, which this is what I do in our salon, is I'll post stories every once in a while with me walking into our salon, into our space, showing where I sit, showing a picture of myself through the mirror, because that's what I would want if I was going into a business to visit a professional. Like, that's what I'd be looking for. So that's why I post that, because I want to attract people that are like-minded to me. I want people that even like have kids. I like doing blondes. Like, that's my hair. That's just going to be fun for me. And it makes my job not feel like a job. So I post stuff just as what I would want to see to attract people like me.
Yeah, that's an easy game plan. So that works well in a lot of situations. That works well for me too. Like the typical person that I would want in my chair is around my age,
Mm-hmm.
has kids or not. That's not super important, but I do think it matters.
It makes easy conversation.
It makes easy conversation. And I tend to really like having conversations with other business owners. So I
Mm-hmm.
put that on my list as well. So it's your, I would say, 35 to 55-year
Mm-hmm.
old, and they are typically male, doesn't have to be, and they have kids, and they are either in some sort of like leadership role
Mm-hmm.
or own a business. And you can keep like extrapolating, you can keep breaking out, you can go into like psychographics and all that stuff, you can go into like what are their religious beliefs, or what are their like what's their third place, where do they go for fun, what do they do when they're not working, when they're
Mm-hmm.
not with their kids.
And all of this matters because this is where, when you have a game plan and you're creating your content is driven to try to find these people so that they find your content and then they find you. And then if you do have some pictures of the back of the heads in there, they use that as their inspiration when they come in, but they're more often than not, or just definitely all the time, coming in because there's a feel that they get from when they stopped on your page. You're lucky if you even get someone to stop scrolling. So if you get them to stop scrolling and then there's some engagement there, you should consider yourself a win for the day.
Yeah, and so the back of the head thing is just something that, so I pick on that because it, like in my opinion, it does nothing. So if you do some really great hair, that's good for you. You're supposed to, right? We're all supposed to do,
Yeah, that's the expected.
you're all supposed to do
You
like
do hair.
presentable work,
Yeah.
right? So when you post on social media the back of someone's head and you get, 30, 100, whatever likes, and you look through and it's all like, again, people you went to hair school with that are like, yeah, girl, or whatever, like crushing it. What does that do for bringing you business?
Right. Nothing.
Nothing. Does that mean you shouldn't do that? No, you absolutely should do that because people are going to want to see your work.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about what gets them even one to know that you're alive. No one knows you
Mm-hmm.
exist.
Right.
I know in the hair industry, it's very ego driven. Everyone thinks they're a public figure.
Right.
No one is a public figure. If nobody outside of your industry knows you, I'm sorry to break it to you, you're not a public figure. So we can stop with that. It
But
doesn't matter
Todd,
how many followers you have because you've tapped into some. When we were talking to Missy, she said this, and I loved it. But she was like, if you go viral, it's most likely because you tapped into some overseas market that is never going to give you dollars. It's never going to transfer into clients,
right.
into paying customers.
Right. Into financial stability, which should be when you're like, well, I don't care. Like, I don't care if people like my stuff or it drives business into my business. Well, then you don't care about making money. And most often, if you do a job, you need to make money to afford to to live. That's just normal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you want a roof over your head? That costs money. Do you want transportation? That's
Yeah.
money. Do you want food? That's a lot of
And
money.
since social media platforms are free, like you can use that to your advantage by having the game plan, putting in the work and posting the right content so it drives business into your chair, which makes you money.
So we can kind of recap. We've sort of come back around, I think. So
Awesome.
I want people to think about, if I had one thing that would stand out, it or what I hope would stand out and people take from this episode is that you've got to get people to know you exist first.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where the inspiration, education, entertainment piece comes in. Because
Love
if
it.
you're doing that, people are going to engage. And then Instagram or whatever social media platform you're using is going to go, oh, here's some engagement. Let's push that out to more
P.S.
people.
Don't try to figure out the algorithm. Just do this. It
No,
will
yeah,
do it for
no,
you.
stop figuring out the algorithm. You're not, no.
No one's going to figure it out.
So you can know parts of it. Like like Instagram and all these companies, they'll release like some information, but it doesn't matter. If you're
You're wasting your time where the
Yeah.
time should be spent on what you're saying right now.
Yeah, just get the information out
Yep.
there of whatever you're trying to do. So if you're trying to just be the hairstylist that dances around her chair every day, just do that. Then you're gonna probably
Do it often, do it
yeah,
consistently.
you're gonna catch eyes, and then people are gonna go, oh, that person looks fun. I want to sit in their chair.
Correct.
Show off your clients. So showing off your clients is not the same as showing the back of their head. So
Mhm.
if you look at the back of someone's head, is that person happy?
Yeah, we can't tell.
Are they crying?
Like, where's their emotion in this?
Are they staring off into the distance, like just not even just wish they were already home? Or are they having a great time?
Yeah.
I can't tell with the back of the head. If you show me
Right.
someone's face, you posted a reel this morning and I was like, she looks so happy. It was a young girl. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she looks so happy because it's her face. You
Yeah.
show the hair off, yes, but then it's mostly her smile, her
Yes.
eyes. Like those are
And I
things
told
that
her story too, which if anyone did read it, like she's wanted that hair color since she was 12 years old.
the split dye, yeah.
Yes. And she finally kind of got the approval. Everyone's co-signed. Like she's a little older now, whatever. I mean, yeah, she's in college to do this. So this has been something she's wanted for a long time. And she only trusts me. And like you can tell their story. Like Sam wanted this since she was 12. She finally got it. And look at the smile. Like this is huge. She gave me so many hugs. I should have got pictures of that. Like it was so cool.
That is an amazing way to attract people because
Mhm.
it's when I looked at that reel, I could tell that Sam was super excited. I
Yeah.
could tell that she was happy. Even in some of them, I was like, she might be even a little emotional. Like
Yeah, she just kept hugging me. So
you
yeah,
could
probably.
tell that that's what was going on. So if your clients are out there, and they are potential clients, they want those same feelings. What does the back of someone, if you had just shown the back of her head, what would that have done?
Nothing. You'd have no idea who Sam was.
I
or
would
her
have
story.
missed out on
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And that's awful because there's so much there.
Right.
Think about storytelling and think about it through not your eyes. Like, so again, even if we went back to the outfits, like you could be like, oh, it's about me. No, it's not. It's what your clients want to see.
Mhm.
So if you make it about you're creating your outfits and engage them. So maybe it's a hat.
That kind of fits
What hat?
two things there too, right?
What hat works better with this outfit?
Yeah.
Vote in my stories.
Yep.
Or message me.
And then
or
that
whatever.
allows you
Like,
to make it about yourself in a sense, but you're putting it out so that the client is engaged and is like, oh, I want to see what she's wearing. So it kind of
well, you're the creator. So of course it's
Correct.
about you. It's your
Right.
work.
right.
But-
But you're including
But your work needs to
Yeah.
resonate at some
or-
level.
Yes, perfect word there. Yeah, awesome.
It needs to come across and draw some sort of emotion so that they click book now.
Absolutely. When I was younger and I used to change my hair all the time, this was before social media, so you didn't post anything. Clients would be so excited to come in to see what color my hair was. They would say that every time. I couldn't wait to get her to see what color your hair was because you're always changing it. So, and that was something like they were excited to get their hair, but on top of that was like, what color is Jen's hair going to be this visit? And this is now you have social media to do that on a bigger stage, and people you don't know, if you are able to reach them, they're like, I want to know what color her hair is going to be, or I want to know what her outfit is, and I should make an appointment with her because that could be cool. Like that's what you're trying to achieve here.
Yeah. So pre social media, Jen worked at a salon at the mall.
Yes.
And so you had a huge visual advantage being in a mall because
Absolutely. Tons of windows.
The way that particular salon was set up was it had a massive wall of windows.
Yeah.
And so you could look in and see the stylist.
Right.
And Jen got clients because they would walk past her and see her funky hair.
Yep.
And see her having fun and see her.
Yeah.
So with social media, people should see you.
Same thing, just
it's just a different delivery. Nothing
Yes.
changes. Human psychology is not really changing. We buy based on emotion. We
Absolutely.
do things based on emotion.
And people would come in and be like, I want that girl with the hot pink hair to do my hair. I barely even knew how to do hair. I'm like, okay, sure. But it was like you said,
It
like,
was a visual
yeah,
cue. They could see the
I was put
person.
together. My hair looked fun, whatever vibe I was giving, and that was it. And so, malls are not like they're kind of dying. So that wouldn't work in today's world. But that exact, like you're saying, that exact same
Well, the new mall, the
delivery
new walking past and seeing
is
random people is social
social
media.
media. So putting that out there is not anything new. And it was before you would just be seen because people walked by. Now you put it on a platform that people are just scrolling by. And if you're lucky, they'll stop scrolling on you and then find out what you're about and then book that appointment.
So we can, what was I just going to say? I think one of the things to realize too in this, in sort of, we can do this in closing maybe, but you don't need a guru. You don't need a hack. You don't need a social media booster or all this stuff. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm telling you from experience, if you just focus on trying to focus on,
Oh, you're me.
I'm Jen. If you just focus on your clients, potential clients, and what they want, you'll be able to present a much better product.
Absolutely.
You'll feel better about it. You'll be more creative. You won't be just copying, someone else's recommendations.
It's authentic.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyways, give me $5 a month and I'll teach you how to boost your Instagram page. No, I'm just kidding. Again, you don't need a huge Instagram following to make huge money.
Just make some content, do it consistently, and do it in a way that will get people to be engaged with what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Done.
All right. See you next time. Bye, everyone.